Not since the English Civil War has an issue divided Britain more than Brexit. In 2016, the people voted to leave the European Union, and nearly a decade on, the topic still gets dredged up like turd-filled nappies from the bed of a disused canal. And why is this? Well, to fully understand where we are now, we need to look at how we got here. In 1973, the United Kingdom joined the European Economic Community, a trade union that morphed into the European Union. Over time, the European Union grew in size and scope, with the political class gorging on the EU gravy train. Failed politician after failed politician took on EU commissioner jobs with fat salaries, expense accounts, and chauffeur-driven transport. This continued until Tony Blair and New Labour decided to take things further and open UK borders to EU citizens in order to rub the right's nose in diversity. This man was not happy. Nigel Farage began campaigning in the 1990s alongside his UK Independence Party colleagues for the country to leave the Union. He spent years crossing the country, speaking in social clubs and village halls until the movement had to leave was too much to ignore. This five-headed old Etonian Prime Minister offered the country a vote to save his political career, and he lost. The UK was leaving the EU. The campaign to leave was led by another old Etonian who went on to become Prime Minister, promising a deal to leave as oven-ready as a Tesco chicken. Sadly, he forgot to remove the giblets, meaning the Brexit feast was not as tasty as he hoped. So has it been a disaster? Well, in a word, no. It's been fine. Okay. Not great, but certainly no disaster. It is true that due to the botched deal and the love of the EU among the political class, many of the promised benefits have failed to materialise. The promise of lower immigration has failed, and very few of the hated EU rules have so far been removed from the statute books. Some trade deals have been done, but more need doing. However, it has also not been the failure the EU supporters predicted. Despite the failings of the current administration, the UK economy has grown every year, with the exception of 2020 due to COVID. We've not seen the millions of job losses predicted, we've not plunged into a deep, never-ending recession, and the Union of the UK has not collapsed. But still we have EU cheerleaders dominating the UK media, fighting a battle they lost years ago, like Japanese soldiers still fighting World War II in the 1970s. They will bend the truths to fit their narrative, blaming every issue from the war in the Ukraine to the failure of a musical on Brexit. The DVLA's issues with driving licences, then blame Brexit. Talk show after talk show is filled with them complaining about free trade deals that were never free, or the number of immigrants needed to prop up public services that have been brought to their knees by overpopulation. It is the easy go-to option for the hard of thinking, as admitting that you may have been wrong or even just exaggerated is impossible for the ego to bear. The echo chamber of social media does not allow for a person to pivot when facts are revealed, and so on they go, like a broken record. But for the rest of us, the sane and silent majority, it is not time we all came together, finally accepted the result of the referendum, and worked together for a prosperous UK future.